our today's session would be on painful truths, which actually makes our life powerful. So, when you hear about truth, what do you understand? Truth, क्या है truth? A truth can be painful. What is truth? Let's discuss that. Hmm? Which which happened in real. Okay. If someone comes and tell you कि तुम्हारे स्कूल में आग लग गई, he is telling you in real, is that the truth? और क्या कोई ऐसा कहे कि वो आदमी तो बड़े बेवकूफ आदमी है, may be happening in the real. Is that the truth? Hmm? What do you think? So not everything which we see is the truth. We can take simple example of Mirage, or when we go on the road, अभी आएगा. March is starting already. The temperature is 35. Just few more days, it will be 40. And when you go on the road, you will see, अरे पानी road पे. थोड़ा और आगे, where is the water? What you see may not be true. Right? So reality is again, it's a perspective. Right? But truth, so our Shastra says that in this Kali Yuga, there is only one pillar of Dharma remained. Right? That is the truth. The good things, whatever is happening in Kali Yuga, because the truth is still there, coming from the pious people, the good people who still are stuck to our Acharya, who are still stuck to the truth. Right? Once this is over, that's the last leg of the Dharma cow, and Dharma will be finished. Right? So the only thing which is remaining in this is like truth. Right? That is the truth. Now, truth can be painful. Right? It is a lot of time it is painful. Let's think about it. Right? A truth that is very difficult to face up, but a truth which is at the same time, if you are able to accept it, it can bring you incredible power in your life. That is actually agenda of the system. Right? A truth can be painful, but there are some truths, even if it is painful, but if you are able to cope with it, if you are able to face it, actually it can be a transformation for your life. It will not be a problem for us. Let's see how. So this is what we discussed, the last standing pillar. Um, yeah, like there was one example. A doctor once confessed that the hardest part of medicine isn't the procedure. Like he says that he was talking to Maharaj, and he tells that the hardest part I feel that it is not giving them medicine or doing their surgery, but hardest part is telling them you have only these many days to live, or this is your terminal disease, you are not going to live. That's very painful. People like, even they know, like someone knows that they have stage 4 cancer. The moment it is told you have stage 4 cancer first time, and they're like, that's it, shattered completely. Right. So it is very painful. But then how to cope with it? And this world is dukhalayam asasutam. This will keep on coming. You can never let go of the pain in your life. It will be there. Whatever you can try. Then how we can cope with that? How we can not adjust, but how we can apply in our life so that we don't face that problem what most other people face. Right? So let's take one by one. Right. So I'll take this one example for the first truth. We see that we go to some place, something looking very beautiful, or we are seeing some drama, some show, whatever, theater, or ISKCON साइबराबाद में बच्चे परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं. Now everyone is like कैमरा निकाल के पहले फोटो ले लेंगे पहले होगा. Is that okay? What is there a problem? Why it's not okay? So people try to freeze the moment. They think that they can freeze the moment. That they know that time will pass. They cannot relive the moment. So they try to capture the moment, they freeze it so that they can relive it. And everyone would have a hard disk at their home where I don't know how many GBs of such moments would be there, which we never go and see that. The problem with that is because of taking that perfect shot, we don't live the moment at that time. We more worry about camera में सही आ रहा है कि नहीं, focus सही है कि नहीं. That moment is past, and that moment is in your camera, goes to your hard drive or cloud, never to become up again. That is the problem with that. That in order to relive the moment, we are actually not experiencing that moment. We are not embracing that moment. We are not able to appreciate it only for that capture. And that comes to the first truth. Everything is temporary. Right. इस पूरे जगत में कुछ भी परमानेंट नहीं है except God and the soul. Nothing is permanent. The hard drive where you're putting those photos, next time you put and it is crashed. Or most of the time we don't even take it to recover the data. We're like, चलो यार छोड़ दो, कौन इतनी मेहनत करे. Nothing is permanent in this world, right? So what is the way to understand that, like, to live in the moment rather than trying to capture the moment, because once this time is past, it is never ever going to come back. That is the chart you are seeing, embracing the now, right? Not the capturing the moment, because your experience goes further down and down if you are only worried about capturing the moment. Try to embrace the moment, because that you will remember for way longer time, way longer time. So time doesn't take away everything from you. A very powerful line is, time doesn't take away everything from you. Time takes away everything that is not you. समझ में आया क्या किसी को? मतलब टाइम कुछ भी ऐसी चीज नहीं लेता है जो आपकी कोई चीज नहीं लेता है, क्योंकि आपका कुछ है नहीं, राइट? इट टेक्स व्हाट इज नॉट यू. What does it take? Say your dear ones are lost. It is not you. Your something you lost, some bottle, bag, laptop. That is not you. But if you miss that time, you are losing that moment of you. Right? So that's how we should understand. Embrace the moment rather than worrying about how to relive it again. So step into the moment and utilize the time you have. We had the example of this. COVID, right? Everyone was worried about what will happen, this and that. All sort of things happened at that time. Um, and we all were like, कि काश हम ऐसा कर देते. I wish I would have gone to the gym. I wish I would have better immunity. I wish I would have said this thing to the family member who is gone. All these things. But time is gone. Right? So, if we would have relived the moment, if we would have gone to the, say, for physical workout, being strong, getting more immunity from that before the moment itself, probably we would not have thought like that, or most of the people. Right? So, and the same thing with our spirituality also. Most of the people think that, अरे जब रिटायर हो जाएंगे तब करेंगे. जिंदगी का भरोसा नहीं है, what retirement? Okay. You don't even know next moment you are going to live. Forget about retirement, isn't it? Right. So people say that इतनी छोटी उम्र में क्यों कर रहे हो? मतलब you are just a kid. Go enjoy life. Do this. Have wife. Enjoy. Go honeymoon. This and that. All those things. Do all the materialistic things except remembering the God and doing things for God. Right. We don't know when that moment ends. So embrace the moment when you have. When you have the strength to go on the top of, say, a hill to take darshan, to go on तिरुपति की सीढ़ी चढ़ने लायक जब आप हैं, तब आप तिरुपति नहीं जा रहे हो. तो एक तो 70 years के लाइफ पे जब आप चल भी नहीं पाओगे तो कैसे जाओ? Think that. First of all, we don't even know 70 years we'll live or not. But when we have the strength, when we have the power, and when we have the time and opportunity, then we should do that. Rather than waiting for the time when that will happen, we'll see. वही होगा ना, हाथ में लिखा है जो होना होगा तब होगा, शायद कभी नहीं होगा. So that is the first truth. Embrace the moment when it is. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. The second is, you will be misjudged. Whatever you do in your life, however good you do in your life, right? Your intention could be the purest. People will there will always be people who will misjudge you. Very important in our family life for all of us, right? We do for our family with good intention, they take it otherwise, and sometimes it's like sometimes it is not reciprocated. People feel bad. Even worse than that is when someone use it against you, right? Like in Hollywood movies, one like whatever you say will be used against you. So you do a good thing for someone, and they use it against you, taking advantage of you and then doing bad things for you, right? But that is life. So how to overcome that? So misjudgment, the pain is you will try to be helpful and people will misconstruct your motivation. If you act only to receive applause, this misunderstanding will destroy you. So how we can understand how to cope up with that? 10 minutes. Misjudgment act as a filter. It strips away the self-obsession and the need for external validation. Don't don't be worried about the other what others are, what their validation is. If something is right thing to do it. That is a prescribed duty, right? It is a right thing to do. You don't have to you don't have to wait for or worry about external validations from people कि लोग कहेंगे तब मैं करूंगा और आई विल डू ओनली दोज थिंग्स जिसके लिए ताली बजेगी. Do the right thing. That's what Krishna is asking Arjuna also to do. Do the right thing. What I'm telling you to. So, when you have this kind of mindset, that will act as a filter. So, here the filter you see good deeds and sincere effort, public perception, misjudgment, and then selflessness. What comes out is the pure intention. You will only worry about the pure intention. These all things get filtered, the public perception, and all those things. And even Krishna was misjudged. Krishna is still misjudged. Who are we? Thinking that we will not be misjudged. Still, people question Ras Leela में तो कृष्णा ये करते थे. Why can't I have 20 girlfriends? People do that, right? Taking example of that. People still misjudge Krishna in a lot of things. He did that. He told lie. He did. वो एक अलग बात है, ठीक है? उनको that is for their own gratification. They want 20 girlfriend, that's why, or maybe two. Right. 20 को ज़्यादा होंगे. I don't know who is that rich. Right. So they want their gratification, so they're just taking an example, excuse of it. Right. But even when the God is misjudged, who are we? So we will be misjudged in our life. Yes. Even be misjudged of the Krishna is 16,108. Yes. Because the wider Krishna. Exactly. So they give that kind of example. So the line is like you'll be misjudged, but remember that it is a great opportunity. So, how to cope up with that? It is a great opportunity to heighten and refine and purify the motivation behind why you are doing that. You are doing it for good intention, right? It should not deter you from doing the good things or right things. But it should give you more motivation. I am doing it for good thing, I will keep on doing for good things. It should not deter you. And also, it is a good opportunity to understand that I am feeling bad that I am treated like that. I should also not do the same thing with others. Right? It's a good opportunity to understand, to have our mentality like that. If I'm feeling bad, I should also not do the same thing to others. If everyone start doing like that, there will never be misjudgment. Right? But everyone has to do. So that's how we can cope up with it. First, we'll purify, we'll filter out all those public perception, external validation from um, our mind. And second, we should take a lesson. We should not act like how we want us to. We should not treat others like the way we don't want us to be treated. Right? That is one thing. Third, the past cannot be changed. Big, huge regret, right? I wish I could have done that. So, a lot of people say that after their dear ones pass away, I I treated them so badly, and like I wish I could not have done. I would have lived very happily with love and all those things. But that's the truth. It's a painful. But it's the truth. Past cannot change. However you regret, you can never change the past. Then how to cope up with that? Then you have to let go. Past is past. You have to let go of it. The only way you can deal with the past is that when you understand that past remains in the past and there is a reason why that happened. It's kind of reminder for us why it happened. Take a lesson from it, not to repeat it. And yeah, whatever, like again, coming back to the first point, embrace the moment. We did not treat someone good when they were living. At least the people who are living, treat them good, right? Because again, why to have more regrets? So the power shift is the only way to pacify the heart and make peace with history is so deeply, sincerely learn from it. You cannot change the past, but past can change you. When we take those lessons, at least we can transform our life going forward. Right. And that's what will become what we want to be. So we cannot change the past, but past can change you. We became the better person because of what happened to us. Right. Learning about that. That is the third one. The fourth is everyone will fail. Very important to know. We all are hankering of perfection. I should have the perfect things in life, perfect children, perfect wife, perfect husband, perfect job, perfect this, perfect that. But nothing is perfect, first of all, and everyone will fail, however hard you try. But failure is not bad, really. Right? It's not always bad that this is the straight line success is just an illusion. It never happens. We saw the chart, right? Heartbeat and all those things. It always goes up and down. Then only it's called lively or life. So the paradox is like when you go fast, when you go slow, actually you go fast. समझ में आया क्या मतलब what does it mean? What does it mean? मुझे समझ when you go slow, you go fast. What does that mean? आप सोलो नंबर करते हैं today also have to go and do the solo I think I do it but it will not be consistent but I inspired you and said okay start doing it day by day I increase step by step then it will be progress I may not directly do 16 rounds at one time कि आज से ही मैं 16 माला शुरू करूंगा do gradually then you go faster faster where not maybe in the number of rounds faster in the progress of spirituality you'll actually progress faster. So sometimes, or most of the time, when we go slower, we go faster, right? Regardless of that. So failure is not always bad. Um, the more we fail, the more you are likely to succeed because we all have heard. You know one more way which will fail, and you will not do that way again. Edison, he failed 999 times. I don't know, actually, it is 999 or it's just saying. Right, but hundreds of times he failed. And he said that now I know these hundreds of material I don't have to use in search of the perfect material. Right, so failure is not always bad. But what is bad? This is bad. When you are so near to your target and then you give up. That is a bad thing. Right, that is life's greatest failure. The failure was not before you did not get. The failure was when you were so close, but just because you gave up, you didn't know it is just so near, and you just gave up and you actually got failed. Right. That is the biggest failure of life. Right. So there's always another way forward. We have to see that. And how we can understand spiritually, the best part of it is in spirituality there is no failure. Right. There is nothing called failure in spirituality. We just had last week this verse or maybe a couple of weeks back. In Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Lord says that. On the path, effort never goes to waste. And there is no failure. Even a little effort towards spiritual awareness will protect you from the greatest fear. You do one, you do something for Krishna, in next life you will start plus on top of that. It is never starting from zero. You have done, say, percentage right. 2% of Krishna consciousness, you will start with 2.1 or 3, whatever prime number or decimal number, what you want to take. Right? It will never be start from zero. So in a spiritual life, there is no failure. It's always a success because you have done something for spiritual, for God, for your spirit. Right. And the last one, you cannot make everyone happy. Right. So a lot of time people think that this guy is not happy, I did that way, they are not happy, they said something, that person told this. Forget about you can make everyone happy. Even if you are coming to the class, there may be some person in your family who may not be happy. Huh? Right? Huh? Prabhuji is like saying, yes, yes, yes. Someone is not happy. Right. So you cannot make everyone happy. So what the world expects from you and what brings you peace, what is good for you. If you try to combine it, that will become a problem. So forget about making everyone happy. Being a spiritual soul, you have to be a little selfish also. That you should not leave everything aside, like only getting into material duties or not doing any spiritual duty. Then you'll be get stuck into the same cycle. So the power shift is here, or the cope up is, do not try to force the circles to overlap, these two circles, what world expects and what brings you peace. Use the friction of other disappointment to look inward. Ask yourself, am I running away from something or running toward my purpose? कि क्या मैं चीज से दूर भाग रहा हूं, ठीक, और आई एम रनिंग टुवर्ड्स माई पर्पस. That patient introspection provides the clarity that external approval can never give. Right. So these are the powerful truths. Just to summarize it in a couple of slides. Any questions? So um, the thing, like we can stop the clock, right? Freeze the time, and we believe we can rewrite history, like we can change the path. That is the illusion of control. We think that we are controller, Ishwar, right? And that illusion gives us like we can do this thing. Then there is something called illusion of perfection, that we we hanker for the perfection that will not fail, and that is the illusion of perfection. And then the third is the illusion of perception, that um, will be misjudged. People should not misjudge us, right? Or we'll do something which makes everyone happy. So these all things, actually, these illusions tend us to cause all these things. The way out is to remember that we are all spiritual beings, right? For a spirit, it doesn't, we know that our soul is the only permanent thing. Nothing else is permanent. Everything else is temporary. When we start thinking in that way, that particular illusion will be gone. For misjudgment, because we think like, who is misjudging us? Like Abhishek Shukla, someone told something to Abhishek Shukla. How can they say that? Because we identify ourselves as the body, not as the soul. Soul doesn't care about that misjudgment or those kind of things. Right. When we start identifying ourselves as the spirit, these things don't matter at all. And the same thing was with the past and the failure, changing the past and failure. Because with the mistake of a, because we mistake a single chapter of the entire book. It means that we think that we are this body and not the soul. Right. We only take like karma devadhikarasthe part and don't take other thing because of it. Right. That's over only. So ultimate paradigm shift is you are a spiritual being, navigate a temporary human experience. If we have to, it is just a vessel. Like if we have to go to some city, we will be sitting in the bus or train. We don't become bus or train. It's just a medium. So this our body is just a medium to pass through at least this phase of our material life. That's what we have to remember, that don't identify yourself as this body doing everything only for the body. Identify yourself as a spirit, and then all this problem will be solved. Now, why we are doing this? Because we know the theory, but theory will not transform us unless we do the practice also. So that as a spiritual being, we should also think of transcending, well, going up, going above, and also transforming ourselves. So changing not mind, changing us. Mind is subtle body, but changing our behavior, changing our way of living, all those things. Because only one thing will not be beneficial for us. We have to do both things together, transcending and transforming together. Right. So yeah, that's it. So this session is taken from. I just repeated the words. None of these words were mine. So see, he is Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, one of the very joyful and prominent, but a very interesting preacher from ISKCON. Um, he's in, he takes care of Bhaktivedanta Manor, London, right? So I just repeated his words. So Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj ki jai.